All right, we are live this beautiful evening. Good evening, everyone. I want to say welcome back on the speaker show with me tonight. I'm super excited. I am happy. I've got great things lined up for me this evening, and I am super excited. All right, so let's get into tonight's topic. Oh my goodness. I've got something very special for us this evening that I really want us to dive into. And I just want you to be open-minded and then let's just follow the storyline because we're still on our storytelling, okay? So before I get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Niniola Fatai, and I'm the host of the Speaker Show. So I welcome each and every one of you on the Speaker Show. The Speaker Show is a place of inspiration, motivation, where minds are being liberated through reasoning. So on the Speaker Show, we encourage, we motivate, we inspire, we coach. Tell me anything that you need. That's what we do because we believe very well that everyone deserves a chance. Everyone needs someone to believe in them, to have hope in them. And I'll tell you this, you can't run the race of your life alone. You need right people, you need right company. You need right platform that will help you to get to the place that you need to be. So that is what the speaker show is about, and I am happy to be part of that. So, one more time, I tell you all, welcome on the speaker show tonight with me. All right, so let's get into what we want to talk about because I am super, super, super excited to tell you guys about this wonderful story that is going to blow your mind and change your perspective on how you see yourself or how you deal with things or how you handle things. It will make you see the reality about things around you and then how you need to be true to yourself, how you need to go out with your true identity, with your true authenticity, display yourself without all the filters and all the things around and all that. So, just stay with me tonight and let's just all have a great time to get there. All right. So the title for this evening storytelling is The Marks and the Mirror. I love this story so much because it inspires me. Sincerely speaking, I go back over and over and over and over. I've read this multiple times, and at the end of the day, I'm like, it strikes at me as if it's the first time. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Understand something, okay, that in this world that we live in, we celebrate filters. I'm sure each and every one of you know that, when we go on social media platform, you go there, you see people, they will put filters on their pictures, on their videos, so that way they will look much better, much beautiful, more attractive. That's what people do these days. So you don't even know the reality of people. You don't even know to what is not. It's like a story of a lady that went viral in Nigeria, about, being, having gained so much weight. And there was so much controversy about that. And then by the time she goes on social media, because she shows her face alone, and then you think she's one sexy, beautiful, young, beautiful, amazing woman. And at the end of the day, she's gained so much weight that, she's trying to lose. And, but when the reality came out, everyone has to, talk, give comments, say this, that, blah, blah, blah. And the reality is that it happens to be her. But the truth is, that is the world that we all live in. One way or the other, we do it. We do it. So the drive sorry. So let's just get into what we want to talk about, okay? So in the world that we lived in, like I said before, we celebrate, perfection. We celebrate, approval. We want other people to approve us. We want other people to accept us. We celebrate perfection. When we see people, like, we're like, oh wow, this person is just perfect, forgetting that behind that perfection there is imperfection. We forget about that and then we get carried away. So now, this is the story of Lena, and then a talented artist who actually painted everyone's truth except her own. See, this is very interesting, and I want you to stay Stay tuned with me tonight and let us have a very wonderful time, okay? So she wore a mask for everybody, every moment. A confident mask at work, I'm telling you, a kind of mask for friends that, people will be like, this person is so kind, this person is so generous, this person is so wonderful. A happy mask online, when she goes online, she shares a video, she's always smiling, she's always happy, she's always excited. You know, and people don't even know what is behind those faces until one day she looked into the mirror and she didn't recognize the person staring back at her. And that was when the reality struck at her that, okay, you know what, I got to calm down. I got to be honest with myself. I got to face reality. And a little child came to her, to our studio one day, I believe. And then the child actually came to paint a picture for her. For the first time, she couldn't even wait. She couldn't let somebody do it for her because she's been the one doing it. So because she didn't know what her reality really looks like anymore, because she put on this fake smiling face. So that night, she took off every mask. No pretending, no performing, just being herself, just being true to who she really is. Now, at that moment, tears rolled down her face, not from sadness. I'm telling you this, but from relief. From relief, because for the first time, she felt real. And we can look at that perspective even about your life. There's so many people that carry on these marks of, I'm perfect, I'm good, I'm doing okay, I'm doing wonderfully. But behind that, there is pain, there is sadness. I was discussing this yesterday with a friend of mine, and we sat down for like an hour, literally. And then we were talking about this, the pain behind the face, the pain behind the smile. Because when we start becoming aware of it, it makes us a better person. It makes us true to ourselves. So let me continue the story of Lena. Now, for that moment, I had to change. It wasn't about flawlessness, you know, but it was more of fearlessness for her. Her flaws didn't matter, but that fearlessness, it wasn't about, pushy or any other thing, but it was about powerful. Because people don't connect to perfection, they connect to truth. It's like a motivational speaker that goes on stage and gives speeches. When you give stories of the things that you've read in the book, people will be like, okay, they'll feel good about it. It will touch lives. But imagine if that person actually shared their own personal stories. You know what that's gonna do? It gives other people hope that truly, if this person did it and survived, then I can do it and survive. So it's two different phases at all, two different things. So at the same time, because people just connect with that ideology of, that perfection. It takes away the truth. But when we start focusing on what the reality is, everybody will be happy, the world will be a better change. So I want you to remember this, that the world doesn't need anyone imitations. That's the story of Lena. It needs just authenticity, your voice, your real story, the true light. Take off the mask sometimes. Be real with yourself. You know, accept yourself the way you are. No judgment. Look in the mirror. Appreciate yourself and meet the person you have been trying to find. Because I want you to understand something, that the the ability to face the reality in yourself, it makes a lot of difference because you connect to your soul. You connect to that happy person within you because you accept your flaws. You embrace them. You become happier. The ones that will love you for your circumstances, for your situations, the one that will love you. And the ones that won't, because everybody can love you. So, a story actually taught me to smile, even when I am breaking, to nod when I disagree, and to shine when I am dimmed inside. And I want you to know that to build up a max, beautiful one, strong, polite, impressive, I'll tell you, none of them matters. So until you realize that you gotta be real, you got to get tired of pretending. I watched there's this movie out there that called it's called Happily After, and it was about a young lady that her story was very, very impressive. And it was just her hair that was making her uncomfortable because she has this perspective that in order for you to be perfect, in order for you to be accepted by people, approver, you see, that's the problem that we have in the world. In order for you to be approved by others, you got to look beautiful and look flawless. And you know what she did? When she got tired of that fakeness, when she got tired of her not being happy, just pretending, then she took off her hair, cut everything off, and went low cut. From that moment, our life changed. At the beginning, it was hard. At the beginning, it was tough. At the beginning, it was hard for people to accept her. But you know what she did at the end of the day? She began to flow in it, to accept it first. When she claimed it, then others begin to accept it. So you can do anything you want to do. You can be anything you want to be. But the most important thing to keep in mind is just to be real. Be that real person. Be that real person that you want. That example. Your authenticity is very, very important. We need to stop faking. We need to stop pretending. Like I said when I started, that the social media have turned everything upside down. If you don't filter, you're not accepted. I remember back in the days when I was in school, there was this story that was being told back then, that a young lady who wasn't making up, who had no makeup, nothing in her face, just natural looking. And then the one that has makeup on her face and, always looking, glamorous and all that. Even though the person that had no makeup on looks much more beautiful than the one that had makeup on, people still accepted the one that had the makeup on compared to the one that didn't have the makeup. What am I trying to say? That is the world that we live in. But should you compromise your truth for the world? Should you compromise your own authenticity for the world just because you want the world to accept you, just because you want the world to approve you, just because you want everyone to love and like you, which it can never be? It can't. You need to find your place. Be real with yourself. That's when the inner strength that lies within you, that's when it shows off. When you take off the mask and be true and be honest to yourself. Wear no marks no more. If you're breaking down, Find good people that you can let them know that you're breaking the path, that you can trust, that they can hold you in times of your storm and hardship, that you can count on. Find those people that you can be true to, so you don't have to carry burdens that you don't want. Carry on happiness that you don't desire. So I'm telling you today that you need to carry that authenticity in you and let it show. Be flawless. Let the real inner person in you, let it show. See, many people face depression. When I look to the history of Canada, when it comes to depression, most people that end up facing depression, that end up experiencing depression, are people who kept to themselves, who shared nothings. They carry the pain, the sadness, the trauma. They carry everything on their shoulder. And out of too much thinking and thinking and thinking, they lost hope. The desire to forge ahead is no longer there. So people are going through stuff, and you don't want to be in that position that you end up with bad things. So I'm encouraging you this evening. I'm encouraging you so much, so much. You don't need to be liked. You don't need to be liked. Authenticity doesn't need you to allow people to like you, because when you are real, you will find real people that will love you. When you are real, you find real people that will love and embrace you. So I'm encouraging you that just be true to yourself. Accept yourself the way you are. Accept your scars. Don't try to form it. Don't try to use something to cover it. Don't try to do that. There's this lady in Toronto that I met. She's a mother of four, and she has this stretch mark all over her tummy. And I saw her one day, and she was putting on, all this half tummy top. And she said to me, and I approached her, and I'm like, the courage, the confidence in you to do this is beyond. And I respect it, because many women with children that have those marks will cover it up so no one can see. And that is example of what I'm saying. It is part of you. Motherhood is part of you. You can change it. Those marks, they're part of the journey that you need to embrace, that you need to love regardless. Regardless, be proud of yourself. When you go on with so much confidence, when you show yourself with so much confidence, I'm telling you that even people around you will have no choice than to accept you for who you are. They will have no choice. They won't. They will love you because you are being you. I don't know, maybe probably you've ever been around someone that they just themselves. What do you tell yourself when you're around those people? What do you tell yourselves? So we need to embrace the scars. Take off the marks and let your authenticity, let it shine beyond, beyond, beyond the limitation that you want to put on it. All right, it's pretty short, but it's a very powerful story that changed my perspective about life. It changed my life because I see things in a different way. And I hope that tonight is able to speak to someone So embrace your true self, embrace your true identity, embrace who you are. No complaint, no excuses. Just take it in, take it in, because those are your beauty. Those are the things. If you're going through pain, it's okay. When you go through pain and understand that it is just for a moment, you're gonna go over it. That season is gonna pass. You're gonna cross. You're gonna cross over. It's just temporal. When you go through that with so much confidence, what do you think is gonna happen? Even before you experience the triumph, before you experience it, you're already walking in it. That's the difference. When you take off the marks, when you become true to yourself, you are experiencing it even before the glorious day happen, because you find your true happiness in what you're doing. You find sincerity and honesty in your true self that no one can ever take away from you. No one, nothing anybody can do that they can take away your true self away from you. And nowhere can you buy that. Nowhere. Because it is you, it is who you are as a person. So embrace yourself, embrace your struggle, embrace your challenges. Go on with so much confidence. Let your wings fly and let people know that yes, you have arrived. Enter the room with so much courage, with so much confidence, and not worrying about the marks, because there's so much sadness behind the marks. But when you take it off, you find joy, you find peace, you find happiness. Tell me, name it. You find those things. So I just want to encourage someone tonight that please, please, please be true to yourself. No matter what is going on in your life, no matter what is difficulties, no matter the storm that you're going through, just be true to yourself. And I'll tell you that great things will happen for you. Great doors will open for you, because of your true self will connect you to the right people. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining me tonight on the Speaker Show. It's been a very wonderful time. Whenever we're on the Speaker Show, I'm always super excited. I'm always happy because there's just something to learn. There's something to talk about, and I'm so happy for each and every one of you who are joining me tonight. You guys are amazing. You guys are wonderful. I can't do this without you guys. But please, most important, please don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to click on the notification button. Don't forget to subscribe. Please, you can be a life savior to someone, because you don't know what people are going through. You don't know the circumstances that surround their lives. You don't know. Like I said, the marks is what everybody keep carrying. And there's pain. When they close the door, they cry. So much tears. Single mothers, they cry. Single fathers, they cry. Husband and wife, you see them. When the hardship is too much, they cry, they break down. People break down in whatever thing they're going through in their lives. So please share the video. Let's like it, let's get to the top together. And I just want to say, I wish each and every one of you a very wonderful evening. And I'm going to go home with my beautiful day tonight. So, all right. And I'll see you all back again here next week, Friday. So thank you so much for joining me on the Speaker Show tonight. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Like I said, don't forget to share, don't forget to like, don't forget to click on the notification button. And I will see you next week. And I remain your host, your one and only Niniola Fatai. Thank you for joining me tonight. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now.